God, I hate that friggin' new song for the friggin' countdown.
Yeah.
I'm going to make my own start. God. Ugh. It's WrestleMania week. We're going to make our predictions. That song just pissed me off. Welcome to the Wrestling Council. God. That just ruined everything, man.
Yep.
This is just a piece of crap. Freaking God. I'm going to find a custom one and make my own. That's bullshit. Hate that.
Just a little
awful. Anyway, welcome to the Wrestling Council. I'm your host, Comic Book Bob. Joined always by my good friend Hollywood Frank.
HW, baby, let's do this.
Yeah, we were gone for a week because life gets in the way, but we're back. Catch us here every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, talking about all the news wrestling. You can follow us on social media below, as in the description. And oh my God, really, dude? You're muted, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. It's working now.
Yeah,
we hear you now.
Yeah, you're working now.
We hear you now, Tribal Queef.
You're fired. Good Lord. So what do you think? Is he going with Roman, or is he staying with Roman, or is he going with Punk?
Let's put him with Seth, just to see what happens.
You know what? I have you know what? We're talking about that during the predictions. I have a weird feeling that that's what they're going to do.
I hope so.
It'd be funny. But before we get into it, let's go ahead and check in. Maldecida said, "Hello, the Wrestling Council. What's up, Leg Kick? Thanks for being here." Maldecida was next. He said, "What's up, people? Welcome back. A little out of practice texting while moving, so I'll watch the sidelines." Yeah, dude, be careful, man. Please, please, please be careful. We don't need any more of your crazy escapades driving home from work, man.
Yeah, nope.
Yeah, WrestleMania prediction. I don't need a sleep aid. Leg Kick says he's going with Seth. Yeah, I get the feeling. Heyman would make it more interesting if he went with Braun. Yeah, I mean, it would. And honestly, I would like to see Braun elevated. I could see that happening. Like, yeah, dude. I'd be 100% behind that. I don't think that's what's going to happen, but I wouldn't be against it. But should be interesting.
Yes.
But did you guys watch Raw this week?
Yep.
Yeah.
What did you think of it as a go? Man, a lot of predictable matches and just a metric ton of friggin' videos. Just a ton of like compared to last year's go home show before WrestleMania, this was like very pedestrian, I guess. It wasn't bad. It was just not. It was all video packages.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was
Yeah, I agree. Braun of the future and a lot like Lesnar and Dominus. Yeah, dude, Braun is definitely a future star. Yeah, the buildup has not been great, but we're going to get into that first. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and get into our favorite segment, a little something we call the good, the bad, and the ugly. It is an even number. So it is your boy starting off, and I'm gonna avoid the obvious ones this week. I'll let Frank have some of those. And for me, good Jeff Cobb has signed with WWE. You guys know me. I'm a New Japan guy. I've been a big fan of Jeff Cobb's for a long time. He did a couple of... What's up?
Is there anyone left
Where? In New Japan?
in New Japan?
Dude, New Japan actually has a pretty good crop of young stars coming up. The problem is are they going to be able to keep them?
No.
You know, they've got Yota Tsuji, they've got Gabe Kidd, they've got Shota Umino is going to be friggin' awesome, dude. That guy's the next Kota Ibushi, man. He's awesome. But the problem is, can they keep him? That's been for the last 5 or 6 years. That's been New Japan's big problem. They don't try to keep their big stars. They're not making it attractive to them, so they go elsewhere. Especially now that there's a second company they can go to, like AEW. And with the way WWE has changed their policies and everything, a lot of them are jumping ship, man, and rightfully so. To be completely fair, because New Japan just doesn't. They don't work to keep them there. But we should see. The next would be Jacob, who would also be very interesting since Roman pushed Heyman down. Yeah. Jacob Fatu would be good. I don't see Jacob Fatu. I think he's too much of a personality on his own, so I don't see Heyman hooking up with him.
No,
but I definitely think that dude, man, I'm still waiting for Brock versus Fatu, man. That's gonna be awesome. But anyway, yeah. So I'm really excited to see Jeff Cobb. I'm sure he'll go to NXT first. And at this point in his career, man, he's done everything else he can do everywhere else. He needs to, he grabbed that big contract and he went for it. But he'll be interesting to see. And I understand why he didn't go to AEW, because Tony just doesn't book big men well. Even a big man as agile as Jacob, as Jeff Cobb, he just doesn't. Nope. So I totally understand that. I'm glad to see him go there. Should be interesting. The bad. Jeff Cobb signs with WWE, and WWE doesn't let him drop his title before he leaves. This has been kind of a story with WWE where they're going out here and they're poaching these talents from other companies, which that's understandable. That's just part of the business.
Yeah.
But they're grabbing these people when they're still holding belts. And instead of letting them do one last show to drop the belt or whatever, so that, the company can, try to move on from them, they're basically, no, you need to come immediately. So just screw them. And it's like, whoa, man. And this is the third time this is the third time this year they've done this. And judging from the way things are, it probably won't be the last. It happened with Stephanie McCourt. Stephanie McCourt was a big one because she actually held 2 titles. She had 2 belts in CMLL. Then now with Jeff Cobb, who just won the IWGP Tag Team belts not that long ago. And WWE is like, yeah, no, you got to come now. So screw them. So, and it's just, especially with a company that has indicated that they want to work with other people in other places. It's not a good way to be.
No.
So that's my bad. Like Kick said, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Gresham, Gabe Kidd versus Josh Barnett, and Pete Dunne versus Timothy Thatcher. Yeah, dude. Bloodsport, Josh Barnett's Bloodsport, that's going to be a good one. Yeah, Zack Sabre Gabe Kidd's another one of those guys I was talking about, the young guy that New Japan's bringing up. And I'm going to tell you what, if they don't drop a Blake check in front of that kid, he's leaving, because he's on the rise. But that's another one that WWE's probably salivating over. But the ugly for me, there's a report that just came out this week. I don't know if you saw the interview that Kevin Owens did on with Chris Van Vliet. But new report about Kevin Owens' injury, his neck injury. The severity of it may be to the point where he may be done with wrestling. You never want to hear that, especially with someone as talented as Kevin Owens. And I'm desperately hoping that's not the case, because I've been a big fan of Kevin Owens for a very long time, all the way back when he was Kevin Steen. And I've always said that he's one of the most, especially in the ring, he's one of the most creative guys out there. You could put him with anybody and you can get a banger match out of him. And hopefully, thoughts and prayers go out to him, and hopefully that's not the case.
Yeah,
because I hate to think that that's the way he's going to finish. But that's my GBU. Frank, what you got, brother?
Oh, my good. Go off on a different tangent, because my good is the self-proclaimed learning tree is gone.
Yeah.
For a while.
Yeah. Good.
That is good. Chris Fozzy Jericho is taking some time off with Fozzy.
And we'll obviously come back with a new gimmick.
Who knows?
Because he desperately needed one.
But finally.
Yeah. And hope
Jericho is off our TVs.
And hopefully this means that Bill Morrissey will actually be given something of a push, because the guy's literally freaking getting cheered everywhere he goes. And he just look at the guy. He's a freaking monster.
Yeah.
How you're not booking him like like the irresistible force and having him just kill everybody in that company I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I really don't. You got Big Show there who could teach you, show you how to use a big man.
Yeah,
why don't you use him?
If Jericho wants to go back to the E, see ya. Go ahead. Go back there. You want to retire? You want to go in the Hall of Fame?
And I wouldn't blame him if he did.
I have no problem, but go.
But yeah, like that way maybe you won't have this Chris Jericho mid-card vortex.
Yeah, it just brings Bill down. He's much better than being a lackey of Chris Jericho.
Yeah,
and
Keith as well, man.
Oh yeah, Keith as well. Hopefully these guys will get some elevation, some airtime without Jericho, and can show what they can do. But good luck to both of them. Hopefully it's good for both of them. And my bad is the women's wrestling in WWE.
Yeah.
The count out between Zelina Vega and Chelsea Green.
Do you see that they're trying to turn that into an angle?
Yeah, and like the announcers, Barrett and Michael Cole. Was it Cole or I can't remember? Just were like, didn't know what to say.
Yeah, they were confused. They're like, that's not the way this is supposed to go. So,
but I do give credit Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green, the way she reacted and kept in character, and just what she did to not kill that segment, I give her credit for that. But I could care less about Valkyria and Bayley. Bayley deserves a match at WrestleMania, but for the tag titles, really?
What are you gonna do, man?
Really?
Just the entire women's division outside of Rhea, Bianca, and Liv Morgan they're lucky they're even on television at this point.
And
some of us are hoping to see a shoot this week.
Well, yeah, we didn't talk about it because we didn't have an episode last week, but the whole thing was Charlotte and Tiffy.
Yeah.
Charlotte is 0 for 3.
She is.
She is.
It's like where I saw they're like, I can't believe she said that. I'm like, where's the lie?
Yeah.
They're not wrong.
Nope.
So, and it's this is just another example. Like I've said it before and I say it again, man. I think Charlotte Flair is one of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time. I really do. I think when it comes to her ability in the ring, she's a 10 out of 10 when it comes to her promo work. I don't think she's quite on that same on the level of her dad, but she's pretty damn good. She's athletic. She's got a good look to her. She's got a lot of positives, man. But when it comes to personal stuff, she kind of, falls apart. And
she got rattled by the crowd.
She got rattled hard, man. So don't start nothing, won't be nothing.
Yep. And then my ugly was from Dynasty, the ending of the world title match.
Jeez.
The Young Bucks coming out and
yeah, and the explanation that they give, I'm like, okay, I could kind of see that, but you're really stretching it, as far as like what you could have done. Because here's the thing, I had a feeling that Swerve wasn't going to win. I wanted him to desperately, but at the back of my mind there was always that they're not going to take the belt off the friggin' Bucks.
They need to.
That was probably the weakest way to do it. I mean, why didn't they have like the Hurt Syndicate come out and take him out?
Please don't. Please don't.
Why? They were hinting at that from day one, and then they never did anything with it.
No, those guys. Let them work with better people.
It's better than the Bucks.
Yeah,
but I don't. Anyone who gets involved with the world title right now gets dragged down. Anyone.
Yeah, because the stupid storyline with the Death Riders doesn't need the world title, and it's stupid.
You could have had FTR come out. You turned them heel.
Yep.
And they beat down Adam Copeland, and now you turn the Bucks heel. So you got a heel
heel.
You got a heel FTR and you got a heel Bucks.
Yep.
Like,
I mean, it would have been
some of the best matches when those two teams were against each other.
Yeah.
One face, one heel. Now you got both heels. Like, okay.
I fully expected the Bucks to come back as faces and help Kenny. Yeah. That's what I was expecting. Or Hangman. One of the two. This is just Tony's not reading the crowd very well.
No.
The other thing too is like you've got Josh Alexander sitting there just waiting to debut him. There's your perfect chance to debut him right there. Okay, because I don't know how much you guys know, but Josh Alexander, Swerve Strickland, and Will Ospreay, they've in the last year or two, they've had some amazing matches with each other, so they've got history with each other. And Josh is a guy that thematically fits with Moxley's crew. Should have had him come in and kill him.
Yep.
And then you've got an awesome new feud with Swerve and him. But no, we get this rehashed BS that doesn't make any sense.
I don't know why you need to put the Bucks with Death Riders.
I don't think they're with Death Riders. I think they're aligned. Which
Close enough. Close enough.
It's the same. They don't need to be involved in that storyline.
They don't.
But yeah, I agree. It wasn't great.
But yeah, this
not good.
Not good. What do you got, Johnny?
I got a WrestleMania to talk about. Where are we going now?
Okay. Oh, you're just talking about that.
WrestleMania. How do you feel about the build to it? You think it's been lackluster?
Some of the matches, yes. Other matches, okay.
Yeah. What about you, Johnny? What do you think?
Same as every year. I care about the match I care about, and the rest
just
if it's good, it's a bonus. If it's bad, doesn't matter.
Yeah. This year, definitely compared to last year, especially, I think this year is just it ain't there, it ain't hitting. But I mean, like it's WrestleMania, so it'll be fun. Some of the matches are probably going to go too long. Some of them aren't. A lot of them don't make any sense storyline wise. Like the Bailey and Liv Morgan and Raquel Gonzalez freaking tag match is just kind of okay. I don't know where this came from, but all right. Sounds like you just need matches to fill out the card.
So it's more important, not taking anything away from the women, but it's more important to put the women's tag title match on WrestleMania than it is to put the Street Profits tag title match at WrestleMania.
Dude, the Street Profits are never going to get the respect they deserve. They're never going to. It's never going to happen because they're and I honestly don't think that Montez Ford is ever going to get the singles push he deserves. I don't think it's ever going to happen.
No,
because I don't think they care enough. Even though him and Siegel's matches would be fantastic, he could be on the level of Swerve.
Oh yeah,
I really think he's that good, and he's got a great look to him. They're just not going to do it because they don't need to. They're swamped with talent right now. They're kind of in the same situation that AEW has been in for a long time. They're swamped with talent. They don't know what to do with them all, except send them to NXT. And if I was him, I'd ask to go to NXT. I'd be like, I want to go to NXT and have a singles push. Send me down there. But it is what it is. All right, guys. That's our GBU. All right. WrestleMania Night 1.
Oh, boy.
Here we go. All right. So these are the matches that are announced. It's possible that they may add one or two more between, now and it's Saturday, right?
Saturday's night 1, Sunday, yeah, Easter Sunday.
Yeah, which I don't think is a good idea, but whatever. So night 1, Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Jade's not losing this match. They're not going to bring her back. This is her first match back, really. They're not going to bring her back to lose.
No.
So this is a no-brainer. I do like Naomi as a heel. I think she desperately needed it. But in my mind, there's no way Jade's losing this match.
She shouldn't. I mean, it's not going to be a long match either.
No. It's going to be pretty quick. Because it's Jade. And Jade looks like $1 million. She's good on the stick. She's middling in the ring. So
I don't know how far it is from gorilla position to the ring for the event, but if it's a nice little distance, the introductions could be longer than the match.
Yeah, very possible. Although, hey, man, it's been a long time. Maybe she'll surprise us. I'd like to be surprised.
Who? Naomi?
No, Jade.
Jade.
But yeah, I got Jade Cargill winning this. Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano.
Yeah, where's Johnny's pick? What's your pick, Johnny?
Oh, I'm sorry, Johnny.
She's just gonna remember her AEW days.
That's the thing about Jade that cracked me up is like we had to reteach her, and then she comes out and she just wrestles exactly the same as she did before.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, I don't know what you taught her, but sure. But you think Jade's taking it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. Do you guys see the big controversy is that they said he was hailing from the Gulf of America, and it's supposedly, and I guarantee it was like maybe 2 people. Like supposedly all the luchadors were pissed off. I can't believe you said that. And I'm like, dude, it's probably like 2 people.
Was that a thing?
Honestly, nobody gives a shit about that whole thing.
Nope.
Stupid. But I was like, he's supposed to be a heel, so keep doing it. But all right, is he winning it? Is Chad Gable gonna get some friggin' love and actually win this?
Who's Chad Gable? He's not in this match.
Dude, shut your pie. I'll just answer the question. Is he gonna or is he gonna get screwed over by Rey Fenix?
Nah, I think too many Rays. I think the other Ray is okay with putting him over this time.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
I hope so.
Grande Americana is going to win.
Maldacino, welcome to Xanax Mania. It just does seem overwhelming, but
there's no reason for Ray to win.
There really isn't.
He's in the twilight. Yeah, he's in the twilight of his career. He needs to be helping put guys over.
Yeah, and to be fair, Ray's not the one that has him winning over top of people. Ray literally said he has no problem putting people over and building up young talent. So, but yeah, I think Grande Americano wins this one. But I've been wrong before. All right, United States Championship, LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. Dude, if Jacob Fatu doesn't win this freaking match, I might just turn the rest of the night off. Because it doesn't. Look, I like LA Knight.
Yeah.
I think he's a pretty good wrestler. He's good on the stick, and he's a decent wrestler.
Yeah.
No way, in no universe should he be beating Jacob Fatu. I'm sorry.
No. You're correct.
Yeah, there is no way he should be beating Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu needs this title to continue elevating him and eventually get him in the world title scene. That's where he belongs. So I'm picking Jacob Fatu. To me, it's a no-brainer. What do you think?
Jacob should win this. I'm picking Jacob. And then he can start the whole, hey, look what I've got over Solo Sikoa.
Yep.
I can win a title. How come you can't?
Yep. And he needs to, and I'd tell you right now, there's other matches that we're going to talk about later. Jacob Fatu better be one of the guys in line for a shot at that belt going forward. So, Johnny, what do you think?
Just to be the contrarian, Solo's going to cost him the match.
Dude, if that happens, I'm going to be so pissed off. I have no problem with Solo interfering, but he should not cost him the match. He should power through it. But all right, Jacob Fatu for me and Frank.
Fatu. I just want him to put it in the face of Solo.
Yeah, keep that storyline going.
And start some kind of feud between those two guys.
Yep, I agree 100%. I'm going with the large coffee. World Tag Team Championship, War Raiders versus the New Day. They have not done jack shit to build this up. Zip. Now, here's the thing. It'll be a good match. Okay. War Raiders are great. New Day's great. It'll be a good match. Storyline wise, this has been a nothing burger. It really has. Credit to both parties. They've done the best they could with it. There has been almost no build in this. Again, this just feels like, hey, we need a match to fill this the middle of the friggin' card. Let's go with the World Tag Team Championship. But I got New Day winning this. What do you think?
I agree.
I think it's the reformation of the three New Day. I think Mr. Biggie Langston comes out and costs the War Raiders the titles.
You think?
And joins up with his brother in the New Day.
God. Oh my God! I'll tell you, Mal. Dude, get yourself a coffee cup, man. Good Lord.
I'm praying for you, sir.
Yep, we've all been there. You
got
a large coffee cup, so use it. I wouldn't be surprised. It definitely needs this match definitely needs a shot in the arm because it's just kind of there.
The War Raiders just not doing it for me as tag champs.
Yeah. Well, the entire tag team division has just been languishing.
Yeah.
Because in WWE it's an afterthought.
Yeah, but Big E coming out there helping them win. I like that idea.
Yeah, good pop.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Because him coming down the ring thinking that he's going to help the War Raiders, and all of a sudden, boom.
Yep. I can see it. What do you think, Johnny?
No, they wins one way or the other.
Yeah. Jay's like, this is not a match I care about.
Yeah. I really don't.
Yeah. Johnny's busy queefing right now.
WWE Women's Championship. Tiffany Stratton champion versus Charlotte Flair.
Woo!
Charlotte's gonna win this. We all know it. They're pushing her to beat her dad. We all know it. In my personal opinion, she shouldn't win this because she has been getting cooked every week. It doesn't matter if she beats her dad or not. She doesn't need to be more dominant. You've got a young talent in Tiffany Stratton. Why are you going to put someone who's almost on her way out like Charlotte Flair? Because Charlotte Flair, after this current run, she's probably done. She's already stated that she's pretty much done with wrestling.
Because what have you said before?
Go ahead.
The face should be chasing the heel.
Yes, I understand that. But in this case, I do not understand putting a belt on a ice cold Charlotte Flair. I don't understand that. If the only reason you're putting the belt on Charlotte is you want her to break her dad's record, that's a stupid reason. So, but I think you're right. I think Charlotte wins this, which is unfortunate because I think Tiffany's, done a good job as champion, as such as it is. I mean, like I said, if your name's not Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, or Bianca Belair, you haven't been booked for crap.
Yep.
Oh my God. Be careful, Mal. So yeah, I got Charlotte Flair. You got Charlotte. Frank.
Woo!
Johnny.
Yeah.
Johnny doesn't care.
I'm here hoping for an accidental DQ.
Yeah, you're hoping for a shoot fight.
I really want things to go sideways in this match.
I'll tell you what, man. I don't know who would win if that were the case, man. I mean, Charlotte's kind of beefy, man. So she's already beaten up 3 men. Ripped their fucking hearts out.
Yep.
Okay. World Heavyweight Championship, Gunther versus Jey Uso. I do not want Gunther to lose this, but he's gonna. Jey Uso is main event. Jey Uso is winning this belt, whether you like it or not.
No. Can't call him that because he's not in the main event.
Whatever, dude. Hey, curtain jerker Jey Uso
maybe
is gonna win this belt. He's gonna win this because that was the plan all along. Doesn't matter that. I mean, in the last couple of weeks, it has been a little bit better. Jay did cut a really good promo that last week. Hey, Big Daddy, how you doing, sir?
There he is.
Appreciate you being here.
Hey, yo.
Little clip from back when wrestling was wrestling. The unfortunate reality is that Gunther's losing this title. He's being sacrificed to Jay. And here's the thing. I like Jay. I really do. I just don't like the way that this match has come about. I feel like the build to it has been lackluster. The one good thing that will come out of this is that it will free Gunther up to go after whoever wins. If Cody hangs on to the belt, he can go after Cody. I mean, to me, Gunther's the perfect heel. And I really would wish that he had a much longer reign. But the reality is it's not going to happen. Jay's going to win this belt.
No. Gunther can't go after Cody because he's on Raw and Cody's on SmackDown.
Yeah. Well, apparently that doesn't matter right now.
Because unless your name is Cody Rhodes and he can appear on both shows.
Anyway, I would prefer Gunther to win here, but it's gonna be Jay. What do you think?
Get ready for the Yeet World Title run.
Yep. Definitely. That's unfortunately that's definitely seems to be what's going to be happening.
For the lackluster build up to it and the I don't care who wins this match, the way it's gone.
Yep.
Like they could get the Chelsea Green Zelina Vega treatment, and I wouldn't care.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Like I said, I think Gunther's the best heel in the business. But yeah, that's what's going to happen. Jey Uso is going to win. And who knows? He may go on and have a great reign, but like I said, the build up to this has been bad, in my opinion. The build up between these two has been the worst thing that to come out of WrestleMania season so far.
Pat McAfee is going to lose his shit because Jey Uso is going to win. He's going to be jumping up and down on the announce table, throwing his hands up.
Dude, I'm going to tell you what, man. I liked Pat McAfee when he first got there. At this point, I just wanted to go away again. I'm done with the guy. I really am. It's just annoying.
He's going to be throwing his arms up like George laying in the T-bone.
George laying in the T-bone. Hang on a minute. There it is.
Look at George. He's giving it the T-bone.
That'll be McAfee just throwing his hands up.
Yep.
Excited.
But, all right, let's move on to the main event for night one, the triple threat match, Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. Oh, my God.
Which should not be the main event, by the way.
No, it shouldn't.
Main event should be a title match.
Yes. And if
I
you
don't
wanted
care if it's the
CM Punk
women's
to be in the main
title.
event,
I don't care if it's the men's title. It should be a title match.
Yep. And if you wanted Punk to be the main event, which I totally understand, should be him versus Gunther. You should have set that up from the Elimination Chamber. You should set it up from the Rumble, whatever. I don't care. But it is what it is. We got what we got. Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. CM Punk will be escorted to the ring by his good friend,
the Tribal Queef,
Paul Heyman. And the big question of this is not who's going to win, it's who's going to walk away with Paul Heyman. Is it going to be Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns? Is it going to be his best friend, his very good friend, CM Punk? Or will it be Mr. Seth Rollins with his non-existent bullshit song? Like, I love Seth, man, but that song's got to go. It's got to go. Anyway, I have Punk winning this match.
Ooh.
Because he's not gonna pin Roman. He's gonna pin Seth.
Ooh.
He's gonna pin Seth. I have Punk winning this match, but I have Heyman leaving with Seth Rollins. I think he's me like, the two of you put me into a position that you should never put me into. So screw both of you. You put me into a position I didn't deserve. Or that whole thing where Seth was like, now you owe me. You know, maybe that's what he's going to tell him. You owe me this. So, which I don't know how that's going to work. I think I'd rather have him just choose. But, yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. I think Punk wins, but Seth walks out with Paul Heyman. What do you think?
Seth wins.
You think Seth wins?
Yep.
Yeah, Punk doesn't have friends. He just has people he hasn't fallen out with yet. I'm still waiting for the dude. You know what's going to happen at some point, man. Him and Triple H are going to get into an argument, and that's going to be the end of this honeymoon period. But it is what it is. So you think he's leaving with Seth, Johnny?
Mm-hmm.
Any reason why you think it's happening, or is it just that it's just something new that needs to happen?
I think it's gonna be just a miscommunication, just him and trying to get someone to pin Seth, and they're just gonna like Punk and Roman are just gonna headbutt each other, and Seth's gonna like pick the bones and just win.
Yeah, I hear you.
I think he's gonna help Seth by accident.
Yep, I stand with Punk, Big Daddy.
I'm going with Seth Rollins as well.
You going with Seth getting the win?
Yep.
Okay. Is he going to get the win because he gets helped by Heyman, or is he just going to get the win because of miscommunication between Punk and Roman?
I think it's going to be Paul doing something, whether he's on the ropes, like at ringside, up on the apron, and cause a distraction where Roman spears Punk by mistake,
and stomped by Seth.
Huh?
And then gets curb stomped by Seth.
Yep. And Seth gets the 1, 2, 3.
Okay. All right. So we definitely think that there's going to be shenanigans with Heyman. Of course, there's going to be. Of course,
yeah,
there has to be. I got Punk winning this. You guys both got Seth. We'll see. I think it'll be an interesting outcome, whatever happens. All right.
Big Daddy stands with Punk.
Yep, I saw that. Night 2. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul.
Call me when you're done.
Yeah, it's going to be Logan Paul, but it should be AJ, considering this is probably his last year. Definitely his last run. But it's going to be Logan Paul. I hate it, but it's going to be Logan Paul. What do you think?
I agree. I mean, if this is the last hurrah for AJ, he needs to do what we said Rey Mysterio needs to do. He needs to be putting guys over.
Yeah.
I can see that happening too. There, Mr. Maldacito. Cross going to cost him a match.
Karrion Kross, yeah.
But it doesn't do anything for AJ Styles to win this match.
No. I'm just not a big fan of Logan Paul. And I love AJ. And I would legitimately like AJ to have one last run with one of the world titles before he goes. But,
I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think so either. And AJ's he's not the kind of guy to force something like that. So he's always been a very selfless guy when it comes to booking and everything. So I think he does the deed here for Paul and puts him over. Sin City Street Fight, Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre for a freaking match that they have done jack all to build. Coming off of Priest, McIntyre legitimately being mad at Priest at the Rumble. This is going to be a good match. Drew McIntyre doesn't miss. And Damian Priest has been, really, really good the last few years. So as far as the match mattering, it doesn't matter crap. But it'll be a good match. So yeah. I got Drew McIntyre winning this. What do you think? Cross has looked really good too, Mal. The way they've been presenting him looks a lot better.
Yeah, I can see. McIntyre needs to win.
Yeah, I agree.
He needs the pay-per-view W.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree, Mal. There's only one world title in the WWE. The other is just a semi-main event title, especially the way they've been treating it lately. What do you think, Johnny?
Yeah, got Drew on this one.
All right, man. Intercontinental Championship 4-way. God, why is this a 4-way? Braun Breaker versus Dominic, who's the champion, versus Dominic Mysterio versus Penta versus Finn Balor. Dude, you guys are not going to like what I think is going to happen here.
You
Dominic
got the dirty one.
Yep. Dominic Mysterio will become, he will gain his first singles championship on the main roster.
I would thoroughly enjoy that.
He will become the new Intercontinental Champion, and then Braun will go on to a program with Penta.
I'd enjoy that very much.
Yep. Every time they build it up, they bury it again. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm more excited for Bloodsport. Bloodsport looks good, Mal. I agree. Yeah, and you know what? As far as character work is concerned, it'll be fun. And I think it'll free Braun up to go after the world title, because I think he's going to be one of the people that challenges Jay.
So is this the end of or the beginning of the end for
Judgment Day?
Judgment Day?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. I think this is sowing the seeds, and eventually it's just Dominic and Liv by themselves. But that's what I think. I think Braun's going to lose. I think Dom's going to sneak the win here, and then he's going to go on to have a fairly probably decent run with the Intercontinental Championship, character-wise anyway.
Do you think the new leader of Judgment Day is going to pop in?
I think it's possible. Because I know that a lot of people were thinking that he was going to take over and face Randy. Well, by the way, we're talking about
Aleister Black.
Aleister Black, yeah. It's possible he shows up during this. I think it's going to I don't think it's going to happen. I honestly don't think that's going to happen at WrestleMania. I think it's going to happen on Raw the next week. I think they save it for Raw. But, yep, Dominic Mysterio, Dirty Dom, will be your new Intercontinental Champion, in my personal opinion. Women's Tag Team Championship. Does anybody...
What? You didn't even get us to say who we thought was going to win.
You just did. I just asked you.
No, you did not.
Yes, I did.
I didn't say who I was picking.
I said Dom. You said, yeah. And I said, no, so we agree.
No, you said you're going to go with... You said, you're not going to like this. I'm like, you're going with Dirty Dom. I said, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then who do you think's going to win?
Not Finn Balor. It's too soon for Penta.
Yep.
Yes, I'm going with Dirty Dom because I want Braun Breaker, as you said, to be in the world title scene, because my prediction for back in January was that Braun Breaker would be a world champion by the end of the year.
Yeah. Hail Dr. Huge Shows. Thanks for stopping in, man. We are just talking about who we think is going to win between in the Intercontinental Championship 4-way. Braun Breaker, Dominic Mysterio, Penta, or Finn Balor. Me and Frank are both picking Dominic Mysterio so far. What do you guys think? Johnny, what do you think, man?
I have no idea who's gonna win. I'd like to see Dom win, because that'd be funny.
I think character-wise, it's the best choice. Because like Frank said, it frees up Braun to go after Jay's world title, and it elevates him to the world title scene, which is I think where he needs to be. And just character-wise, with the character work that Dom's going to do, I think it's going to be freaking hilarious.
Who takes the pin?
Finn Balor. To build like you said, to build the drama of the eventual disintegration of, or the reforming of Judgment Day under Aleister Black.
Yeah.
I think that has to happen. And I think that's what's going to happen. So there's my prediction on that. There's Frank's. There's Johnny's. All right. Women's Tag Team Championship. Honestly, nobody gives a shit. And I don't like that I'm saying that because I like Liv Morgan. I like Bayley. I like Raquel Rodriguez. Lyra Valkyria is all right. It's not the women that's in this match. It's the build to this match has been non-existent. And the Women's Tag Team Championship continues to be ice cold. Ice cold. And they're not, and I like the idea because apparently the plan is to leave the belts on Liv and Raquel and let them try to elevate these belts, which is what needs to happen. But if the way you're going to book their matches, what's that? I'm not worried about someone calling me misogynistic. I'm just calling it like it is. I actually do like all the women that are involved in this. I just, like I said, the build has been non-existent. That there's never heat on the women's tag belts. They don't do any kind of elevation for them. And every time there's a tag team match, there's never any build to it. There's never any build up. There's never any story. It's just something that happens the week before. Exactly like this. It's just something happening the week before. It's we need a match to fill the card in the middle. Here we go. No, I know, dude. I'm just for anybody else that's watching, I'm addressing that. And it's unfortunate because, I'm a tag team wrestling guy. And it'd be nice if they actually built some legitimate women's tag teams. They just haven't. They were on their way to doing that with Bianca and Jade, and they got hurt. So I don't know. I'm almost to the point where I think that the belts are cursed. You really do.
They are.
Literally the last 5 teams that have held that belt, one of the members got hurt and got put on the shelf for at least 4 or 5 months in the process. And it's just like, this thing's got a demon in it or something.
Yeah, these titles aren't changing hands.
No. And there's no reason for them to change hands because this is a thrown together match. WWE Women's World Championship Triple Threat: Io Sky, Io Shirai, I refuse to call her Sky, versus Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair. So I've had Lyra and Bayley like a buzzsaw their women's tag division, dude. If they had built this match up, if they had laid a legitimate reason for this happening, I wouldn't have a problem with Bayley going on a tear with the women's tag titles. That's a good person to put the belt on to help build some legitimacy for it. It's just that every time there's a women's tag team match in WWE, it's an afterthought. It's literally we need something to fill this moment over here, and that's it. And honestly, that's the way they've been treating tag team wrestling, period, in WWE for a while. There's no heat on any of the tag belts.
Yeah, they had to get another women's match on the card.
Yep.
They just threw Lyra and Bayley together and had this impromptu gauntlet match on Raw.
Yeah.
Rather than try to elevate one of your women's titles, either the U.S. or the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, the belts you just introduced.
Yeah. Don't even worry about that. Let's just throw one of the champions, the Intercontinental champion, in a tag match for the tag titles.
It's odd. The build has just been strange.
So Chelsea Green gets nothing. Lyra Valkyria gets nothing because neither one of their titles are on the line at WrestleMania.
Yep. But then we had a feeling that was going to happen when they introduced those mid-card belts. So I don't know, man. That's one of the few places where I think Triple H is having issues. But the Women's World Championship triple threat, Io versus Rhea versus Bianca. Bianca's winning this, in my personal opinion. The only way that Bianca doesn't win this is if they push goddamn out. It's a 7-hour show. Of course they need wins matches. We need pee breaks. Oh my God. The only way she doesn't win this is if they do something storyline wise where Naomi costs her the title, or I could also see them doing something where Jade comes down to try to help her because Naomi gets involved and Jade accidentally causes her to lose. I can see that. Regardless of what happens, I don't see Io walking out with this belt, and that really pisses me off. Because it feels like she was just thrown into this to be a transitional champion and be fed to Rhea or Bianca. And that's unfortunate because I really do. Io, in my personal opinion, is one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. And she deserves a legitimate run and not be treated like cannon fodder. But I've got any weirdness notwithstanding, I think Bianca's winning this. What do you think?
I think you also have the possibility of the man coming out.
Oh, Becky?
Possibly.
You don't think Becky's announcement that she's done with wrestling is legit?
No. Come on.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
She just signed a new contract. Why would she just all of a
sudden?
But
she
signed a new contract. I'm going to retire.
They could transition it into a Legends contract because here's the legitimate dude. We know that she has stated that she's the most important thing to her right now is being a mom. It's not about having it's not about her wrestling career. It's about being a mom.
Yeah.
So
lies.
Okay. Lies. You think it's all a swerve, huh?
Yes.
Okay, it's possible. I wouldn't be mad if that happened.
The man sits on a throne of lies. She smells of beef and cheese.
Johnny, what do you think?
Well, I think Bianca's wins it.
What'd you say, Johnny?
Io.
You think Io wins this?
Mm-hmm.
You think it's gonna be there's too much BS between the other two?
It's not gonna be that complicated, in my opinion, actually.
Oh, okay. Hey, man, I'd like to be wrong about it, man. Like I said, Io's one of my favorites, man. I think she deserves much more than she's been given. So
I think
that would happen.
So. Yeah, I think so too. Io deserves, but I think they're done with Io as champion.
I don't think Io was ever meant to be legitimately champion. I think she was just there, like I said, to be a transitional champion and cannon fodder for the other two, which I think is bullshit, but it is what it is. All right. So the main event for night 2, the undisputed WWE Championship, the real WWE Championship. Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. Who you got?
Let's see. You Can't See Me is going to be 17-time world champion.
Okay.
Right now you've got The Rock, Travis Scott, and John Cena. Right?
Yep.
Johnny, who's going to be the fourth to form the new Four Horsemen?
You up for it, Bob? I think you can get the job.
You guys can kiss my ass. You know that was the plan until COVID. Everything.
I don't know anything.
You shut your pile. You know that's the truth. Anyway,
because like who's going to come out? Is it Seth Rollins going to come out and Paul Heyman be the mouthpiece for the new Four Horsemen?
God damn it! Just pick your freaking winner, dude.
I did. I said you can't see me is going to be
Okay.
17-time world champion.
All right, I agree. I think John Cena is
Dr.
going to win.
Huge show. Huge show. Have a good night, sir.
Yep. You take care, man. Appreciate you being here, bro.
See, Cena liked it.
It's of course he does because you're fucking with me. Cena's going to win this. Obviously, he's going to go on and he's going to hold it all the way to the end of the year, and then at the end of the year, they're going to pull the trigger, and Roman's going to take the belt off of him. I think that's how Roman becomes champion again.
Nah, no.
Yep.
It's gonna be someone. It's gonna be someone else. It's gonna be Randy.
You think it's going to be Randy? You think Randy is going to take the belt off of Cena?
Oh yes.
Really?
Yep.
Why do you think it's going to be Randy? Because of the history between the two of them?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I can see that. I mean, I could see what you're saying, but I have the feeling that the way they're building everything up, they want Roman back at the top of the card. And I think the way that they go about doing that is they have John Cena come out because they're also you got to remember Cena is the Rock's guy now. And I think to build to Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania next year, this is what's going to happen. Roman's going to challenge, and Rock's going to be like, what are you doing? You're not supposed to be doing this. He's going to win. He's going to take the belt off of Cena. He's going to retire Cena, and then the Rock's going to be pissed. And I think that's how they're going to build towards next year. Personally, I think that's what they're going to do. What do you guys think?
I'm bored by Dwayne. I don't really want to see him there anymore.
I could see CM Punk taking the title off of John Cena.
I can, I can kind of see that.
They have their history with Nexus and the Core.
Yep, they have their history with Nexus. They have that. They also have the big promo between the two of them where he basically cooks Cena. Yeah, I could see Punk being the guy, but I don't think Punk cares about the world title, and I don't think he wants to be in the world scene. I can see him helping, I can see that, but I don't see Punk taking the belt off of him.
No.
Unless they've done a complete 360 on what CM Punk wants.
Oh, he didn't want the AEW title either. They didn't stop him.
Yeah, but it made more sense there because they needed to put the belt on the most visible and high profile guy that they had. Honestly, I don't think Punk is the most visible high profile guy they have in WWE right now. I don't think he is. He's definitely up there, but I don't think he is. I think Roman and Cena are both bigger right now. That being said, I could be wrong about that. I have been wrong in the past.
Oh, you have a lot.
Oh yeah, I know. I knew as soon as I said that you're gonna be like, "Oh, we know," but I don't think so. I think that's the plan. I think the plan is to build towards Roman versus The Rock at WrestleMania next year. I think that's the plan. But we'll see. I got Cena winning this. Frank, you got Cena winning this. Johnny, you got Cena winning this.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So when is Bob ever right? Dude, I'm right way more than I'm wrong.
Whoa.
No, dude, don't even start. You know damn well that I'm right way more than I'm wrong.
Just by saying that you're
now when I am wrong, I'm usually wrong big, but I'm not wrong a lot when it comes to wrestling. But yeah, I think the plan. I think that's the plan. I think Cena holds the belt for the rest of the year, because this is his last year, and they're going to milk him for everything they can get him from him. So, and then they'll use that to set up the match with him with Roman versus The Rock. But we'll see. Anyway, guys, those are our predictions for WrestleMania. It, despite the build, and it has, I know, like I said, we talked about, we felt like it's been lackluster. It'll be a good show. There'll be some good matches on there. There'll be a couple of bangers on there. It'll be a good match. It'll be a good show. Where some of this stuff is going, I couldn't tell you. A lot of it, I think, is just going to die right there that night, and they'll just move on to other things. Because, and I think that's the biggest problem with it, is that so much of it feels like it's been thrown together last minute.
Yeah.
But so one last thing before we get into that, what surprises are we going to get? Are we going to get Aleister Black?
I believe so.
You think so?
I think so.
What do you think, Johnny?
Could go either way. Like they could do with him or without him.
I think they hold off. I think he shows up on Raw. I think they hold him for the Raw after Mania. So we'll see. I think there's going to be the big confrontation in the ring between Dom and
Finn,
and then that's when he's going to come. That's when he'll be there. Malicino, the return of Hulk Hogan. Oh yeah,
brother.
Didn't need him then. Don't need him now. Talking from the grave. Oh yeah. I think Jeff Cobb was signed. Some people were saying they think that Jeff Cobb's going to get involved in somebody's match. The Jacob Fatu match, maybe. I don't think Jeff Cobb shows up tomorrow. I mean, this weekend. I don't think so. I think he's going to NXT first. I'm trying to. I think if there's going to be a big surprise, it's going to be Becky Lynch, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's that possibility there, and I also think there's the possibility that Bad Bunny shows up to help Damian Priest, because they were talking about him this weekend. I think there's that possibility as well.
Well, Johnny thought Karrion Kross could come out in the AJ match.
I think that's almost a given. I don't know if I would classify that as a surprise, but I definitely think that's something that I think that's definitely going to happen, because I think that's how they're going to protect AJ in losing to what's
Logan Paul.
Or they bring Jeff into a revival of Lucha Underground. Now, that's another thing that somebody had mentioned, that the Hardys could show up after the tag match or something along that line. So I could definitely see the Hardys showing up at WrestleMania, because remember when they came back the last time, what match did they come back in? Who were they introduced by? They were introduced by the New Day. So coming back on a New Day match after the New Day retake the tag team titles.
And I don't know if it's so much a surprise, but I could honestly see Big E Langston coming out to help New Day win.
I think it's a possibility. It's definitely a possibility. But as far as surprises go this year, I don't know that there's anything really huge. Like,
do you think Ric Flair makes an appearance if Cena wins?
No, because technically, from what I understand, he's still under contract with AEW. Now, that doesn't mean that Tony wouldn't let him.
It does.
What do you? He said it does mean that.
It does. Oh yeah.
But dude, Tony's let people go to their WWE.
Not anymore.
I don't think anymore
No
because of
chance in hell.
how nasty they're being to each other. But well, that's just like the situation with Luger being introduced in the Hall of Fame, and they wanted Sting to do it. I think Tony would have been if Sting had gone to Tony Khan and said, "Hey, would you let me do this?" I'm almost 100% positive Tony would have said, "Okay," because it's you. Yes, but I don't think WWE wanted him there. So that's the case with that, I think. But all right, those are our predictions, guys. Those are our possible Sky Lolo cost Cody the title. All right, guys. Anyway, those are predictions. Like I said, we'll see what happens this weekend. Thanks to everybody who was here. Leg Kick, Maldacito, Big Daddy, Dr. Huge Show, and everybody else that was lurking and watching. I may have a guest with me next week.
Yeah, this guy has to work.
Yeah, so I'll at the very least I'll be flying solo. I might actually have a really cool guest with me next week.
Besides the tribal queef?
Yes, besides the tribal queef.
You better be there, tribal queef, to celebrate your victory with Seth Rollins.
Yeah. But
okay, you can smell me coming.
My God.
If you smell what the Paul is cooking.
Appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for hanging out with us. We will see you guys next week. Bye.
Woo!
Get the hell out of here before you two start some problems.